Hi, my name is Jesse at Trash Panda, and I'm here with
Scott Stokely with Stokely Discs.
And this is 9 Holes with
Jesse at Trash Panda.
And Scott Stokely. So Scott,
Yes,
today
sir.
we're gonna throw each other's discs.
Yes.
And I haven't thrown your disc before. So can you give me the elevator pitch as far as how they fly?
I can. The Cardinal is a mid-range. It's definitely going to be overstable. Even more overstable here at altitude for sure. It's not a starter set disc. It's not a straight flying disc. It is a specific mid-range overstable disc. And the Wren, by the way, it's the thermoplastic, which is like a star plastic, is best comparison. And the stratoplastic Wren, which is like the putter plastic, is a beadless putter that is super easy to grip, and it flies basically perfectly straight. And flight numbers are coming out soon. We crowdsourced those, and we're letting the community tell us the flight numbers, not me.
I was actually gonna ask you about how that was going.
Oh, it's going fantastic. Well, the thing about crowdsourcing flight numbers is I am not the expert on what the community thinks of a disc. The community, their vote is more accurate than any one person's flight numbers could ever be.
Agreed.
Because the community dictates how this compares to something else and what the market considers what numbers are what. So we've gotten a ton of replies, and we're like within a couple days we're going to be announcing. Yeah, it turned out great. We're going to do it every time.
Oh, tree love. Oh, please. I think people know this about you, but you've all but dedicated your life to disc golf. Why disc golf?
God, that is a... Do you have an hour and 45 minutes? More than anything else, this is my family. I don't have family members. I got one kid, and then I got my girlfriend, and my best friend Randy is probably the closest to family. Other than this extended family I've had my whole life. Whenever I've been in disc golf, I've been incredibly successful. The several times I've left the sport, my life has fallen apart. I cannot live without this as being my world. This is my base, it's my family, it's where I get all my love, and I figured out how to make a pretty darn good living now. It will, for a mid-range disc, it will handle the torque better than almost anything sidearm.
I love that grippy feel with the sidearm. It feels great.
There you go, look at that. That's what we're looking for. Great shot.
I still thought I was gonna get a little turn out of it.
Yeah.
It's beefy. This will not go well.
That's not bad.
I know this is like asking you what your favorite movie of all time is, so I'll apologize in advance, but if you could only give one coaching tip in perpetuity for the rest of your life, what would you say?
I'm gonna go with the golden rule of putting. And the reason I call it the golden rule is this is the rule that nobody follows. So I've called it the golden rule thinking that would sound really important and people would do it.
Yeah.
The golden rule of putting is when you putt, leave your hand up at the point of release until the disc strikes something. The reason this is so important is that is the only feedback you're going to get as to what you just did when you putted connected to what that result was. If you putt and pull your hand away, you get a result independent of knowing why that result happened. You leave your hand up, you got feedback on what you did right or what you did wrong, what needs to be adjusted, connecting the dots on the aim. When my hand's here, the disc goes there.
Yep.
And the neatest thing about the golden rule is even if you don't change anything about your putt, maybe you love your putt, you can leave your hand up without changing a single thing about your putt. And you are a better putter tomorrow by following the golden rule without even changing anything.
Do you know why that one says 6 times on it?
Yeah, it's because it's been recycled 6 times because you're testing degradation across 10 recycling runs.
Scott Stokely being a fan warms my heart.
Watch your videos. Oh my gosh.
Boom. I would personally say you're one of the YouTube godfathers of our sport. Do you remember, like early on, what made you post on YouTube and then why it became such a big part of your brand?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give you a strange answer, and that's no one's actually asked me that, and so I'm not sure I've expressed it this way before.
Perfect.
So if you follow me, you know that it was back like 10 years ago. I had some troubles with substance abuse when I was away from the sport. Came back to the sport, saved my life, and I just discovered that I liked working with players with special needs, and that gave me a sense of value or purpose beyond just, wow, he's really good at throwing a frisbee.
Yeah.
One of the things I sought in the early days of recovery was praise, and which is something you're not supposed to say, that I like being praised or complimented, but I needed it. I needed people to tell me, I look up to you or I respect you. In order to do that, I needed to tell people what I was doing. So now when I post all my special needs stuff, it's all about inspiring other people to do the same.
Yep.
It's very little about self promotion with that work. But early on, it had a lot to do with self promotion, because I needed my community to get behind me and tell me they were proud of me, looked up to me.
Cool.
So yeah, very selfishly motivated, but for maybe some decent reasons.
I don't know why, but I'm loving this blue. I think
All right.
it reminds me of something.
Definitely throwing this one as a hyzer over the tree.
Whoa.
That would be the shot, right?
I don't know. Sure.
Oh, it's shorter than I thought.
So we teased it on the last hole, but you've been an incredible advocate for adaptive disc golf. Can you talk a little more about what that means and why it's so important to you?
Yeah, it's important to me because disc golf is for everyone, and it is for everyone because it's effectively free with a low cost to entry, low barrier to entry on disc cost. There's now disc golf courses everywhere. Disc golf is for everyone, almost. Disc golf doesn't fit with some people's physical abilities and developmental limitations. That's not the fault of disc golf. That's just, I guess you'd call it almost luck of the draw, but some people just can't go out and play a traditional course. So the game of golf can be adapted to anybody of any level. You know, the length of a hole is dictated by how far I throw or how far you throw. If someone throws 25% that far, you can build a golf hole that's 25% as long, and it is the same damn hole for them that this hole is for us. It's scaled to their ability. And then the throwing techniques are based on my body and your body, which are very similar. There are people with bodies that aren't similar to ours, and so it's about adapting throwing techniques and throwing styles based on the individual body type. I just want disc golf to be played by everyone, and that is a percentage, often invisible, fairly invisible percentage of the world that I can reach through adaptive disc golf. It's actually a really good line. That was good.
It's got a putt.
Oh.
So you've traveled pretty much everywhere around the world for disc golf. What is one specific place or memory that stands out that's non-disc golf related?
Oh my God, non-disc golf related. So we were in Malaysia. We were staying at an eco camp, which is out in the jungle, and we literally out in the rainforest. And we wanted to go for a hike when we got there. And the person that runs this eco camp says, it's against the law for you to go hiking by yourselves. And I said, well, why? And he said, because when tourists go hiking by themselves, they don't come back.
Oof.
What do you mean by that? He says, well, aside from getting lost in the rainforest, which is easy to do, he says there's tigers, there's panthers, there's sun bears, there's cobras, there's vipers, there's like 6 predators that'll kill you. I said, so can we get a guide? And he said, well, yes, but you can't go right now, it's dusk. But we have one guy that'll take you out for a night hike. You just told me there's predators.
Not dusk, but night is fine.
Yeah, night's fine. And I go, well, aren't there predators at night? And he says, oh, he knows where the predators hang out. So then he told us, he said, here's your instructions if there's a predator. If the jungle's loud, there's no predators. But if it gets quieter, there's a predator nearby. And he breaks down this whole thing about get your back up against the tree so the predator doesn't grab you from behind. And I'm like, This is the real deal.
Yeah.
We're hiking through the middle of the rainforest at night with the canopy, no starlight or moonlight, and all he has is a little red light that he shines on the ground in front of us, so our eyes don't get blinded. And the reason why is because there's cobras, and if you step on a cobra,
Oof.
they don't try to get you help. They make you comfortable for like 7 minutes and you die. Right? It's death penalty for stepping on a cobra, and there's cobras. Brings us out to the jungle. He sits us down and he says, "I'll be right back," and he disappears. and I'm sitting there with Adriana like, I think we're gonna die. Pretty sure. Anyways,
you
spoiler,
live to tell the
I'm
tale.
here.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and he's got fungus that glows in the dark.
Whoa.
Like something out of a science fiction movie. And
That's
this is
awesome.
why we travel, but it's also why I love spending my time in developing countries. And I got nothing against Rome and Paris and London, but the rainforest of Malaysia, for me, it's way cool. So I'm going to make these two trees here a mando. So that if you've played...
The trees to the left of the teapad.
You ready?
Yeah, oh, I'm ready.
I can do this.
With the ozone?
Yeah, with the ozone.
Ozone roller. Someone tried to grab it.
Alright, that's kind of in the fairway. You trusted it. And now watch how far it flies. Look at it come out of it. Look at that. It was pin high.
Scott, that was a great throw.
That flew great.
That's a pretty good disc.
Oh, okay.
Pin high,
Here.
solid disc.
Nice.
Stokely birdie.
Was that with the cardinal of the wren?
Yes, sir. When I suggested the course Owl's Den, I didn't realize how serendipitous that was. Can
Yes.
you explain why?
So this is, at the time of this video coming out, is the newest Stokely disc, which happens to be called the Owl.
Crazy.
And it is an approach disc that I think is going to put us on the map. I think this is it's a special disc, and it actually does something differently than anything else out there. It actually fills a niche that I don't believe is filled. It's
Heck
really
yeah.
cool.
That's awesome. How crazy. Course Owl's Den. Your next disc that I didn't even know about is called the Owl.
It's not that crazy. It's my simulation.
It hasn't even been PDGA approved yet.
As of today, well, I need to check the website. It might be actually approved as of today.
Crazy.
So I gave my first impressions on your
On my
camera.
channel. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
for
Now you know how it flies.
But I'll tell people I got one throw with it. I should be able to correct for player B, ace with it. You know how it is. I think definitely like more stability than a zone, and you can really like trust it out wide, and it feels really good in the hand, both backhand and forehand. So
Look at that. That's like 2 feet from the hole.
I mean,
Oh my God, that was going in.
Take that all day.
There you go.
All right, ozone. Let's see it.
That's a hole in one. You got a hole in one. Zoom in. Zoom in. Oh God, that was so close again. We're getting so close.
People haven't been paying attention for this whole video. You're now manufacturing golf discs.
I am.
And I'm curious, what's one thing that surprised you that you didn't expect now manufacturing your own discs?
Wow. What surprised me? Probably the biggest surprise is that I haven't really had any surprises.
Whoa.
I mean, I would have expected to have it be a lot more unknowns, and it's honestly going kind of like I expected it to go. Now, if I was learning how to make discs, I'd be surprised every single day. If I was trying to learn how to design molds and how to blend plastic and like how much pressure to add to the doohickey next to the widget-bob,
Yep.
yeah, I'd be surprised every day. But I think that the part of the business, the marketing part, it's pretty much gone just about how I dreamed it would.
Back door.
Oh, that was close. I'm gonna get one more. I'm gonna try to ace it.
Oh,
How cool would that have been?
my goodness. Is there anything in particular that you're not currently working on that you know you want to work on down the line that you're extremely excited about?
As far as manufacturing?
A specific disc.
Yeah, well, not a specific disc. I think there's some room, there's some ideas that I would love to experiment with. It costs a lot of money to experiment. on
Yes,
new
it
disc
does.
ideas. It's not something that I could do today, but when I have the money and I can just allocate, 2% of my revenue towards dumb ideas. In fact, I'm officially going to call it the Dumb Idea Fund. I got some stuff I want to try. I think could be kind of weird but fun.
I feel like everyone now is just going to be waiting, like so stoked on the Dumb Idea Fund. We're in.
Well, because look, whenever you see weird ideas, some of them work.
Yep.
And they're only dumb ideas in hindsight, right? Because when you come up with something new, it's like, hey, that was really cool. A lot of times it was really cool and obvious. And I think there's potentially something there. All right, so I'm gonna putt the 2 inner core drives. Hey, that works.
Jeez. There it is.
Hey,